Okay, welcome everyone. Stock market technical analysis. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to go through the charts, and I waited till the end of the day today to put out a video just to cover. We've got some developments happening in the market, and I wanted to see if there was going to be continuation to that before putting the video out. So I'm going to point out what I'm seeing. Give me a thumbs up. Let's get right into the charts, and here we go. All right, triple Qs starting out there. So a couple things. The candlestick on the daily chart that we're getting today is a bearish engulfing. It's engulfing the previous candle. So that's a potential reversal candle. We want to see continuation though, so you're going to want to see more selling to help confirm that, help confirm that reversal. A couple other things. I've got it circled up here, but this price action right up here is a divergent high, another divergent high on the RSI and the PPO. So here's the RSI. The price we made was a new higher high in price, and yet the RSI lower high. So let me zoom that RSI in, expand that, and you can see here lower high right there in the RSI, and it's already started to turn down, helping confirm that negative divergence. So we've got negative divergence, continued negative divergence in the triple Qs, and we have, we've got a reversal candle. That's really what's going on. The PPO hasn't quite turned down yet, so we'll wait to see if that one turns down. But we've got several things really set up on the hourly chart here on the triple Qs. You can see, we kind of created this secondary support shelf. It's right about there. We're starting to break that. So ultimately, I think we're heading down to what looks like about 331. Right in 331 or so. And we'll see if that breaks. I think there's some support there. That was also the former gap right back in here on the hourly. So 330, it's about 330.50, 331. That should hold as support. And if that doesn't, we break, then we're going to look for, more selling basically. So we're seeing signs that there is going, that we're getting a reversal. We're in the area where you have a higher probability of having a reversal because we have all-time new highs, but it's a divergent high. And so we're looking for continued downside selling. Okay, the S&P 500, which is the stock market, we start off with the hourly chart here. So this was your uptrend line on the hourly that we started to make. We broke the other day, but it was just drifting. It wasn't impulsive selling. We're now seeing impulsive selling show up into the close today. And so we're now getting that impulsive selling really starting to show up. I think there's going to be continuation. I think this didn't really break because the Qs, the tech sector, was still rallying. Now we're starting to see Qs come off and SPY starting to come off as well. So I'm looking actually for a move all the way down to about this 402, 401 area. There's a gap down there. And also, that's going to be this red line right up here that we've got. Let's mark that out on the daily. No, sorry, my lines are moving around on me, not adjusting quite yet. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on with that line, but we are, I think it's likely. We'll just start off with the short term and kind of look at where we head from there. But ultimately, I'm looking down to that 401, 402 area as the next level of support. Here's small caps. Again, small caps are still range bound. 225 being resistance, 220.50 being support. Nothing's really changed. You can see we've just been bouncing around within that range. So nothing going on until I see a break of that range. And that's not happening today, obviously. Tesla. So Tesla had a gap right here at 780.91. You can see if I look at, we can show it up on the daily. See the gap right there? Little gap. And that's basically where it traded up to today. It went right to the penny, 779.98, and started to sell off from there. So that's resistance basically. We'll call it 780 is resistance. Support is, I think, really this trend line down here. So you have this trend line right here. That would be support, and that's all the way down there at about 632. And so, yeah, those are the levels to watch. Right now, I think we're likely getting rejected and going to head down to support. And if we see a break of support, then there's probably a lot more downside to come. So I am looking for that. Snap, and I'm just kind of scrolling through some of these, but Snap, you can see here, just continue to get rejected at this resistance. So we've tested this resistance line, and here's your trend line right here on the daily. It comes off these lows, lots of reactions along this trend line. Here's your sell signal or your break of trend. We did a back test, and we've just been back testing and getting rejected every day, every single day. And even today, you can see they bid it up back above and it sold back off. And that was within the first hour, I believe. Yeah, you can see right here, the first hour, they bid it up and, gapped it up, and it just sellers kept in and smashed it down, and more selling really throughout the day. So again, it just continues to confirm that this is proving to be resistance, and we're likely going to continue to trend down. So we've tested this one, 5 days in a row at resistance, and the bulls haven't been able to recover that broken support. The bears still continue to reject it. So again, this just continues to confirm that this negative divergence here on the daily is intact, it's relevant, and it's forecasting the probability of a drop in snap is there. So again, I like this one in this area. Short, I am short snap. I'm probably going to add a little bit today to that short position, and we're looking for this to continue to trend down. So SQ on the hourly chart, I want to point this out. Here's an uptrend line that SQ's been in for the last couple weeks, and we got a break of that trend just today. So there's a sell signal on SQ for the hourly chart. So that sets us up. If you look at the daily, that probably sets us up for a move down to the more major trend line, which is down around 213, 214, somewhere right in here. And that's an upward slanted trend line. So you don't know at what price it's going to hit that trend line, but we did get a break right there. That's a bearish engulfing on the daily, and a pretty solid break, impulsive break. So I think we're going to continue to drift down, but we haven't broken major support. So SQ is still trending up in price on the major support, but negative divergence on the daily. You see the daily has big negative divergence. So I'm not really interested in this one until I see a break of this daily trend line support down here, but it does look like we are going to start to drift that way. And then I'll look for a break. Just want to kind of point out what I see on this one in the short term. Keep an eye here on Nike. A couple things to point out on this one. Now there's a trade setup. There's not an actionable trade yet, but I want to point it out in case it shows up. So on Nike, you got this uptrend line right here. This is your COVID lows. And we created this bearish rising wedge up here at the top. When we created this bearish rising wedge, we put in negative divergence on the daily, and that negative divergence really still remains. The downward trend in momentum is cleanly intact. And what it's been doing is just trading sideways. And every single time it pokes up here and makes kind of a slightly new high or an equal high, it's a divergent high. See that right there, how it's less momentum than before. So this was kind of your high here, and then every single time it gets up in this range again, it's on less momentum. It did it again here, less momentum. Did it right here, less momentum. See how it's a lower high? So I just want to point that out. So you've got support. It looks like we've got some support right about 131.12, and a break of that. I think if we break that, we're likely trending down to the major trend of Nike, which is your bull market trend. This goes all the way back to 2009, and there it is all the way down there. So again, if we start to break this 131 area, to me it looks like we're going to start to trend down to this major trend. All right, so I'll be on the lookout for that and potential short to the downside. Let's look at the dollar and gold. So the dollar is back below this 92 area. So that was former. Here's the bigger picture on the dollar, right? Going back to 2011, this is your uptrend in the dollar. All right, we broke that trend basically when the Fed went crazy, and we broke that trend right there, and we put in the support shelf around 92. So you can see we held support there for a while. Finally, we broke, and we're testing it as resistance. We broke back above it recently, but we're back below it again. So false breakout, I think it has the potential for a false breakout. We'll see if there's more selling tomorrow. Again, the dollar is a good thing to watch if you're playing the gold trade. A weaker dollar should bring in stronger gold. And here's gold, continues to just hold that resistance 1750. It looks like it's kind of building energy and coiling. I think we're going to get the break higher. It does look like we're going to break higher in gold above this 1750, but that's the level to watch right now, 1750. And the miners should trade accordingly. If gold it breaks out, the miners should break out and go much more. So AMD and apps. Here's apps. This one continues to just drift sideways, but we've got resistance right there at 95. We have, here's your uptrend right there. We broke trend recently on the daily. When we broke trend, we had negative divergence. So your negative divergence really showed up right here. This is really where it started to show up. Really, it's been building for a while all in here, but then you look for a break of trend, and there's your break of trend right there. 2 big solid selling days, and then all these were just back tests, rejection candle again, kind of more back testing. Again, I think we're going to work our way lower down to the 65 area as at the next level of support, a break of that, and we start to head much lower down to about $40. So this continues to just, continues to really kind of go sideways. We're just waiting for that continuation of the downward price action. Here's AMD, same deal on AMD. Here's your 2016 bullish trend going all the way back to 2016, upward trend line right there. There's your divergent high. See the high prices, but they were made on lower momentum, negative divergence right there. So you wait for the break of trend. There's your break of trend, back test, fail, another back test. It's just chopping sideways. Again, we're just waiting for, the participants that are in this to realize that the trend is broken and it can't go up anymore. Once something stops going up, it's going to go sideways to down. And so we're just waiting for that resolution. So these Fang stocks, here's the hourly chart on Amazon. It's starting to crack today. There's a sell signal on Amazon. So hourly chart, it was just trending up over the last several days. And we've broke. If you look at the daily, bearish engulfing on the daily, and a break of that hourly trend. So again, I think it's likely we're going to continue to work our way lower. And bigger picture though, Amazon's just been trading sideways. It's gone nowhere. So this is likely where a lot of the selling in the triple Qs has come from today. But the Fangs are kind of coming off a little bit and selling. Here's Apple. Apple's, it's breaking its trend. There's your uptrend in Apple in the short term on the hourly. It's starting to break. It's not that impulsive yet. So not my favorite. I usually like to see it a little more impulsive. Microsoft, same thing, starting to break a short-term trend. Again, it's not that impulsive yet. And Google's not really breaking trend. It's just kind of sideways. So that's what I got on the Fangs. So that's something to take note of, and take a little pause on, I guess, if there's a triple Q short that you're putting on. Know that, yes, the Fangs are breaking their short-term uptrend, but not that impulsive. Amazon is much more impulsive. It looks more impulsive. The rest of them, not quite as impulsive. So usually you want to see that selling really start to flood in to help you confirm a sell signal. So again, you just want to manage your risk accordingly. If I think it makes sense. From my perspective, I think it makes sense. And we'll just wrap up going back to the triple Qs. I think it makes sense to take a starting short position today and potentially add to it if there's more selling. If you look at the daily, we do have that bearish engulfing. What I would say is wait till we'll wait till the close and see if we, how the day closes out. And if we get that bearish engulfing and it continues to sell into the close, then it might make sense. Otherwise, we'll wait till see what tomorrow brings. All right, guys, that's all I got. Gold's looking good, looking strong. I think it's going to break out soon. Oh, one thing I want to point out on gold. If you've been watching this Harmony Gold mining stock right there. So this one is objective to pretty much add to a long close to this area. You've got a downtrend line right there. And obviously this downtrend line, we put in bullish divergence down here. I've got it circled. We then broke out. So there's a breakout. That's a buy signal. And we came in for a back test over the last couple days. And it hasn't quite tagged the trend line, but close enough. My trend line could be off slightly. Again, let me just mark that out. We could be, it could be something like that. And this could really be a perfect back test. So I think it's objective to add to that. I'm going to be adding a little bit to this position today. for a bounce off of this trend line and a continuation to the upside. So I just want to point that one out as well. All right, guys, I'm going to get the video out before the market wraps, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.